Craig Carton talks about Ponzi scheme charges and life off sports radio since arrest. New York, Craig Carton became one of New York sports talk radio's most prominent and successful hosts by talking a lot, loudly, often and in sound bites filled with provocative opinion laced with snappy humor. Yet for the past 2 months, after being accused of involvement in an alleged Ponzi scheme involving concert tickets, he has been silent. After his arrest on September 6, he was suspended from the Boomer and Carton show that he co-hosted for a decade with former NFL quarterback Boomer Esiason. Carton resigned a week later. Since then, until an interview with USA Today Sports on Monday afternoon, Carton's only comments have come in a statement or through his legal representation. "It is killing me," Carton, 48, said while sitting in a meeting room at his attorney's offices near Wall Street. "I made my living speaking and being opinionated on whatever it was I was speaking about. Now I am the focus of that. I am the subject that people are talking about. It is extraordinarily frustrating. It is maddening. It was beyond difficult to keep my lips tight for the last 2 months." If you're not familiar with Carton or his unapologetically forthright approach to talk radio, chances are you're not from New York. He's a big deal in the Big Apple, a city that loves sports and enjoys debating about them even more. Carton and Esiason were a strong and high-energy double act, having jointly taken over the morning spot on leading sports radio station WFAN after shock jock Don Imus's show got canned following racially insensitive comments in 2007. Carton, radio host, reacts to the endless stream of vitriol since his arrest. More, Geno Smith rips Carton over arrest. Funny how life works. Boomer and Carton grabbed the morning commuter crowd and generated a vibrant local following, then got picked up for a televised simulcast by the MSG network and later CBS Sports Network. 2 hours before the September 6 show, Carton was taken from his apartment in Manhattan's Tribeca district and into custody before being released on a $500,000 personal recognizance bond. Last Friday, a federal indictment charged him with wire fraud, securities fraud and conspiracy. If found guilty, he faces up to 45 years in prison and heavy fines. The indictment accuses Carton and co-defendant Michael Wright of fraudulently procuring $4.6 million from a hedge fund. They allegedly duped investors by offering them large quantities of face value tickets for highly sought-after concerts to be later sold at a profit. According to prosecutors, the funds were instead partly used to settle gambling debts accrued by Carton. Boomer on Carton, "I'm pulling for him." According to his attorney Robert Gottlieb, Carton will plead not guilty at his arraignment on Wednesday. Gottlieb said last week that Carton will fight these false charges with every ounce of his being. Although the fight has just begun, Carton said the accusations have had a deep impact on him, his wife Kim and their 4 children. "It is devastating," Carton said. "There is no other word for it. It has thrown my entire life upside down. I have to talk to my kids about things that they might not understand, but that I know they are reading, adult things that no kid should ever have to read about, especially when you are talking about their father." He continued, "As far as the personal toll, I was employed for 10 years at my dream job. I have no income now. My life unfortunately is kind of on hold. The last 2 months have been hell." On the morning of the arrest, Esiason, one of the nation's most prominent football broadcasters, announced to listeners that Numbnuts is under the weather and he's not here, a roast fully in keeping with their ongoing big brother little brother shtick. Later in the show, having been told of Carton's arrest, Esiason informed the audience that his partner was not out sick. Since then, instead of giving his take on the sports news, Carton is part of the news. The New York Post alone has published no fewer than 33 stories about his troubles. Geno Smith, the New York Giants' backup quarterback and a frequent target for Carton's scorn, jumped in on Twitter, gleefully posting that it's funny how life works. But Carton has supporters too. In a telephone conversation with USA Today Sports, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie spoke of their close friendship, which stretches back 13 years to when Carton was on the radio in Trenton, New Jersey, and Christie was United States Attorney for New Jersey. "I believe in Craig and I believe in his goodness as a person," Christie said. "I asked him when this all broke to be honest with me, and he said he